When you only draw your material off of what's going on in your life, the moment your life becomes unrelatable, your jokes are going to start missing. So Kevin Hart released a stand-up special called No Fucks Given, I believe, recently. And me and my family watched it over the, our Thanksgiving this past week. And I have to say, I didn't like it that much. I fell asleep maybe a half hour into the special. Jokes weren't really hitting with me, kind of underwhelming. Yeah, there were some funny parts to it, but overall, not my style of comedy. But apparently, this was not just a cruel thing. This was a people thing. Multiple people have been saying that this special was underwhelming. There was a group in the Clubhouse, which is an app, and apparently an entire room was created called "Is Kevin Hart Funny?" or something to that effect. Then Kevin Hart goes into the room and begins to, having talks with people about his special, and black people love to tear other black people down. This is why we can't build. The usual talking points whenever a black celebrity is getting criticized for how bad their work is, right? But I'm not really going to get into that in this video. I want to tackle, is Kevin Hart funny? Or no, better yet, let's discuss why Kevin Hart is no longer funny. That's what I want to tackle in this video. Why Kevin Hart is no longer funny. Because I think this is actually a simple explanation as to why we are at the place we are today with Kevin Hart and his comedy. And I've said before, Kevin Hart was never a comedian like Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock or Bill Burr, who would speak about things going on in the world, society. I believe he's even admitted to the fact that this was by design, where Kevin Hart doesn't like to speak about, for example, politics, though I don't think speaking about the world is always political. He likes to speak about his personal life, his family. That's, if you go and watch, even back when Kevin Hart was really good, he would speak about himself and his family, personal experiences. That's what he has always built his comedy off of. It has never been about the world, things going on in life. And he did pretty good. His first special, or one of his first, was definitely called I'm a Grown Little Man. Classic. Then he had one in 2010 called Seriously Funny. That is also a classic. And then he had Laugh at My Pain in 2011. Those three, I think, are comedy special classics. And so he was on fire during that stretch. And then after that, he had Let Me Explain in 2013, which wasn't bad. It was a decent one. And then he had some other ones that came out later. But Laugh at My Pain was the last special where start to finish, I was laughing. Start to finish, I was laughing at my pain. That's 2011. That's 9 years ago, right? If I took a poll, I would imagine that most people watching this video would probably agree to say, yeah, you know what? Laugh at My Pain was the last special where I was, rolling around on the floor dying. So what happened to Kevin? He got too successful. See, remember earlier when I talked about Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Bill Burr as comedians that speak about what's going on in the world? When you only draw your material off of what's going on in your life, the moment your life becomes unrelatable, your jokes are going to start missing. So Kevin Hart, he's not living the life of you and me anymore. He's not. Earlier on, when he was telling stories, he was successful, so he wasn't living the life of the average man, but it was still attainable, right? Like, it's attainable for me to go and drive on a safari where I run into an ostrich, right? Or the joke that he had about the parking space where he almost got into a fight with a Chinese man. These are all things that, sure, they're not going to happen to most of us, but it could. Parking lots. I've been in parking lots all the time. Safaris. I'm sure I'm not in safaris all the time, but I could pay for one. You don't have to be a rich guy to go on a safari. And so his jokes were relatable to us. Now that he is successful, none of his rich dude problems really are that funny. I think in the No Fucks Given one, he talked about his kids going to private school and how he doesn't feel like the school respects his level of celebrity. Like, just things that you don't really care about, right? Like, you have to be really, really funny if you're going to try to make me laugh about something that I can't relate to at all, which is the opposite of what Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock does, because they do a lot of content on the world around us. So even as they become successful as individuals, because they're discussing society, that still impacts me. I know about Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. So when Dave Chappelle did a special about that, Sticks and Stones, it was funny to me. I can relate to it. Bill Burr's always talking about how much he hates white women. And I understand because I don't like them hoes either. We relate to that. I don't relate to Kevin Hart and his private school problems. I don't. Right? And he's not funny enough to make it where a problem that I can't even envision me having is funny to me as an individual. And so when you look at his career, I think you can see kind of like two lines going in opposite directions where the more money he gets, the less funny his specials are. The last couple of ones that he's given, I have not enjoyed in the slightest. And so I don't know if there's any remedy for that. Obviously, Kevin loves doing stand-up. He doesn't need to do this stuff. He doesn't need any money. He's not hurting for money. He probably makes more money doing movies and probably even commercials now than he does putting on a stand-up special. And so he obviously does this because he likes stand-up. He likes his craft. He wants to be considered one of the best to ever do it. But right now, Kevin Hart is not a funny man. He's not. I always check out his stuff when he puts them out because he's kind of in that category as an artist where, when the music artists you like put out classics early on, so no matter if you haven't enjoyed the recent stuff, you're always going to check out the new stuff because there's a 30% chance that they might put out another good body of work. That's where Kevin falls with me. So, I will always go and check out the work. But I have to say, year after year after year, it becomes more clear that Kevin Hart's funniest days are probably behind him. And so if you are a Kevin Hart fan, this might just be something that you have to get used to. He's super successful. Can't hate the man for putting out the content that pays him. But as far as content that's going to make us laugh, yeah, those days are over. So we might as well all just get over it.